Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hood Raised, represent Team at Ease Entertainment. I'd like you all to help me welcome to the stage, also represent Team at Ease Entertainment, as well as Epic Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, Prolific.
My pen never sits too long. Holding it hostage to my pad, I'd drift in the incense of ink, coming days to the beauty of collaboration, of when pen meets paper, love struck, shot by the ricochets that bounce off walls through speakers when I speak into a mic. Through an arrangement of words, I feel aligned. See, you help me and my spirit combine through lyrics incline in my voice just to project my objective. Their poetry. This is just a personal dedication to express how I feel when you make me feel expressive. Impress when I impress me into you. Leaving indentations of my mind's ability to captivate and produce my own aspect. Just look how one sentence turns into endless pages of release. Thank you, notebook, because those little 50 sheets of wood helped me breathe. That ink that bled tended to my pain, and that ounce of spiral metal kept my life together. So even when I was at my lowest, I realized I always have you, so my pen had a point, and my paper was just space to document the list of reasons in the form of pieces on how my mind looks physically, emotionally, healing through artistic creation. See, poetry is where I found another life form, formed from an art form. I was once a caterpillar, inching through the days of life until I endured the beautiful process of metamorphosis. Now growth grows and my mind expansion follows as my hands drift swiftly to the breeze of my inner emotions, and my heartbeat pumps to the tempo of my thoughts, and I be dancing through Webster. Sometimes I forget to come out of the days where I dream through words and slip into the softest melodies that collide so gracefully. You even sound like love. It's like I can see you clearly now. That's why they call you Recite. And you held me down from the root. You helped me going. You are the push to keep me going. It's like you started a new part of me. You helped me be a part of the circle of life, rebirthing myself in rotation on different stages. Every time I touch a mic, see you be the reason I strive. Restless hours, hands cramped, thoughts going haywire. You still be my peace of mind. So, yes, poetry, I do love you, and I will until the end of time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Darlene
Peace and blessings, everybody. I'm Hood Raised.
Hood Raised. We are both here to talk to Prolific about her story. How are you, Prolific?
I am epic. How are you?
Epic. Oh, I think that's leading into something there.
Yes.
Okay, Prolific. I do have a few questions for you. I hope you're really, really comfortable because I'm going to get deep into your life a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
So tell us about yourself first.
My name is Shamara Pugh, and I'm also known to the people in the spoken word community as Prolific. I am also along with being a spoken word artist, I'm a motivational speaker, graphic designer, radio host, event host, and vice president of a nonprofit organization. So yes, I am quite a little busy right now.
That's a long resume.
Yes.
A lot going on, and it's all good.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
So how did you become a lyricist?
So it all started in my basement at my old house. It's crazy. My dad was a rapper for a group back in high school after he had me, and he built a studio from scratch in our basement. And me and my little brother used to sneak on the stairs and just listen to them rap, and then we'll get in trouble and have to run back upstairs. And then, we get in trouble. Then we'll do it all again the next day. So just listen to him and my uncles just go down there and rap and freestyle for hours until this day. They come over and they freestyle just for hours, and it feeds me energy, and I think that's where it all started.
So you were recently in a show,
Yes.
right? And these women were telling their stories, right?
Yes, I remember.
And I know these women came to tears when you told this one story. And I know this is probably a really personal issue for you, but I know it was a piece called Her Story, which basically you were telling your story. Can you elaborate on that piece a little bit?
Yes, so I was in an amazing show called Her Story. It was one of my first biggest events, and I looked at the ladies that were on the flyer, and I'm like, all these women are absolutely dynamic, and they all had so many stories to tell. And at that point in my poet career, I wasn't really digging deep into myself, and I've been holding burdens for so many years, and I just decided, like, it's time. You've grown, you've healed. It's time for you to tell your story. So I came up with the title Her Story because along with the theme of the event, I talked about how I was sexually abused as a young child. And I was 14 and it was like such a detrimental situation that I didn't tell like nobody but like my closest friends, and I only had like 2 at the time. And I just held on to that grudge, that pain. And when I started doing poetry, it just was like, this is how you're gonna tell the world. This is how you're gonna express it. This is how you're gonna get that last little final stitch to heal in your past.
Okay. Okay. I want to get a little bit more about that story, but we're going to go to a break right now. So I want you guys to come back and enjoy the show with us.
Marcus Jones says he's headed in the right direction today. That's much different than where he was headed 2 decades ago.
It was good because you got the money for the right there. You get the money, and as the customers come, and the money piled up in your pockets.
That was when Jones was just 16 years old. He was already a member of a known gang. By the time he was 24, Jones attempted to rob another gang member.
As I was exiting the home, I got shot, and didn't even know I had got shot, and tried to get back up, and I couldn't.
Jones has been in a wheelchair ever since. He wrote a book titled, Everyone Has a Story, This Is Mine. He hopes that his mistakes can wake up others.
You always think that it could never happen to you until it happens.
Jones educates people in his own uptown neighborhood, but he also works with other schools and students in other communities. And that puts some parents' minds at ease.
I look at Marcus and I think, and I thank God, my son could have been in that wheelchair.
He also encourages everyone to stay away from the drugs he once sold.
He said, Steve, when they say they want to give you a free high, they don't tell you about the low-down consequences of accepting that free high.
Jones's book was published in January. In just 2 short decades, he went from selling drugs to selling books and selling hope.
Hi, we're back with Everyone Has a Story. I am Darlene today, and our guest is prolific. So when we left, we were talking about Her Story, which was a poem you wrote about something that happened to you. And can you tell us, how were you able to get that in words?
So when I knew the show was coming up, it was so crazy because usually when I have events, I do things way in advance, and this poem was taking me a while, and I was just hesitant about writing it, and I was just like, you don't have to do it. I was discouraging myself at that point because it was so hard of a topic to talk about. But I wrote one line in the first line of the poem, and I was like, just that one line helped. And I was like, but as I was writing the poem, it was like a tug and pull process. It was like, it hurts, but it's healing. It hurts, but it's healing. It's hurting, but it's healing. It's kind of like that scratch, that hurt that you're scratching it, but it feel good at the same time. It was just like that. And it took so much of me to write that deep into that poem because it took so much emotion out of me, that being such a hard situation for me to deal with at such a young age. And I didn't have that many friends, and it followed me all the way into my 20s. And that was the most detrimental part, that I had something hanging on my back for so many years, and it caused so much pain and caused parts in my personality that I was not proud of. And at that point, I decided that I wanted to make a change in my life and who I was, and it was going to start with healing wounds from that event. And as I was writing the poem, I swear I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And I've been told that the best poems that come from a poet are the ones that are emotional, the ones that are the hardest to write, the ones that take the most energy writing, because it's taking that energy because it's healing you from the inside out. And that was completely a healing process. That poem took me such a long time to write because I put all of my heart, soul, mind, and body into that poem. So, and I did it because I knew I wasn't alone. That's when I realized when I was writing this, I did research along with writing that poem about the young women who had went through the same thing as me at different age groups, different nationalities, and I learned that I wasn't alone. And it's somebody just like me that doesn't have poetry, that doesn't have any artistic creativeness to express themselves. So I'm going to take this step and not only do it for me, but do it for those who have not said their story out loud, those who not reached out to get help, those who never told anybody. And that event alone moved me to hear the stories from the other women at the events that went through similar situations, and the women in the audience that just, that were there in support of me and heard my story and just looked at me in disbelief that I got up there and I said it. I got up there and I did it, and it pushed me and it motivated me more to be of a person I am today and let go of past pain and past hurt and just literally write it out.
So recently, I just seen your name nominated in several categories: Rising Stars, Female Artist of the Year, and the Spoken Word Scene. Congrats! And in a short period of time, you are skyrocketing up the list. So what's next on Prolific's bucket list? Like, what is it that you feel like you have to do next?
So right now that I am I am in so many places at once as far as my talents go. So I'm literally just watering all my talents and just trying to grow greater in each section so they can come up collectively as like a garden of fruits of everything that I've done.
Sound poetic.
And
right.
right now I'm digging deeper into doing things for the community and giving back, because I know how hard it is to be in a certain mental state, and I know how hard it is to be in a place where you just feel like everything is just not going your way. And we all know how important words are. One sentence, one word, one smile can literally change someone's day. I've been there. I know people that been there. So right now I do this event called Notes for Hope. I did it March 24th. I collected money from GoFundMe, friends, family, and we put together these care packages. And within the care packages, we have hygiene products, deodorant, towels, soap, toothbrush, razors for the guys to shave their faces and stuff like that. And the most important part of the packages was that we had handwritten notes from people all over, people in other states that they commented, and my family members that I never speak to commented, and it was just so grateful to watch everybody come together to help rebuild our community through giving back and just words alone. So they have this little sticky note full of words of hope, inspiration, love, encouragement, motivation. I had a couple people put scriptures from the Bible in there. I had people put poems in there. I had people write like their favorite everything on those that helped them get through those times. And we put them in each package and we passed them out. And that was just so moving, because at one point, it's a funny story. I was riding with my friend who was helping me give them out, and he stopped and he was like, "Okay, I see a lady." And I walked up to the lady like in the middle of the street intersection. The light was red, and I gave it to her. And she turned around and she just stopped and she looked at me and she was just like, "Thank you." Wow. She was just like, "Thank you so much. You just don't know." She said, "A lot of people judge me. A lot of people think I'm out here doing this and doing that." She said, "But I really, really just need help." She said, "I don't want to be right here doing this, but at this point, I don't have a choice and I don't have no one to help me, and thank you." And literally, in the middle of California and Harrison, I was just crying my eyes out, giving this lady this package. So that has moved me to go deeper into giving back to my community.
The power of the tongue.
Yes, so powerful.
They say words don't hurt.
They don't.
But they definitely can heal.
Yes, yes.
They definitely can heal.
Yes.
I know that you also do design.
Yes.
I've been seeing you do your thing.
Oh, thank you.
Girl, tell us a little bit more about it.
So, I am a co-host of an open mic, which is held every second Friday of the month at Baseline at 2239 South Michigan at 7 p.m. So we started with a Forever Flyer. For those that don't know what a Forever Flyer is, it's like all your basic information to an open mic or event that you don't have to keep putting a different address or different time or different date. So at one point, me and my partner were paying someone to do it for us. And I just took the step out like, hey, I think I can do that. I think I can try. I think I can do that. And literally for the last 8 months, I've been just making flyers. And recently, like 2 months ago, I put it out to the public like, okay, y'all, I'm ready to do y'all flyers. And right now I've done book covers, CD covers. I've done open mics. I've done events. I've done album covers, inside, front, back, and it's just opening up that variety of different things I can do with graphic design. But I just took that step and was like, hey, somebody else can do it, you can too, so try.
Seems like not just from the poetry perspective, but like from a self know-how
Yes.
perspective. You got a book. You got to have a book coming out of something. You got to. You did so much and so much time. I mean, can we expect a prolific CD, a book, a download card, something that we can follow what Prolific is doing?
Well, since we are here, I have a sneak peek for you guys. I have been working on a book.
Oh.
Yes, my book is going to be called 179. So I'm going to explain that to you guys. So you know how 360 is a complete circle. So you know how some people are like, I hit a 360. But if you stay in one point, you come back to the 360, you're really at the same point. So if you do a 180, you turn it backwards. But perfection is unachievable. So I do 179. So my book is about my changes and what I've did to change me from the inside out, mentally, internally, like spiritually, everything from step by step, what I did along with my personal experiences in the book. So I'm not going to put a date on it yet, just be looking out for my journey to 179.
179. Wow.
It's
Yes.
pretty dope.
Thank
Well,
you.
you know what? I got one more question for you. And
Okay.
it's kind of personal, but we're going to go to a commercial break right now. So
All right.
we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to Everyone Has a Story. I'm Darla Nikki. And my co-host Kimberly. And we are back with Prolific. I have one question for Prolific. And it's personal Prolific.
Woo.
I was at Epic, right? And I noticed that you have a love interest.
Who, me?
That's not typical on the scene. People kind of keep their little business in circles, and you guys put it like right out there. Look at us.
Yeah. You know,
Who is that love interest?
so my love interest just so happens to be the host of Epic Night Open Mic. Come out to Epic Night Open Mic and you can meet him.
His name?
Markel Thompson is my partner.
Say that stage name.
Kels the artist.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to know.
So it's just when you have something so special, it's really hard to contain in front of others. And we were like best friends for such a long time, and we grew into business partners and more. And it's just such a great experience to be able to work with him on so many different levels. And it's just an easy, smooth process, I can say. And it's just so amazing just to have someone you love with you, supporting you as you support them, as we work together and as we just do so many projects together, and it's just amazing.
Well, that is awesome. That is all we have for you today. And we'd like to thank you for coming to tell your story on Everyone Has a Story, Prolific.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce a rising star on the spoken word scene, representing Team at Ease Entertainment as well as Epic Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, Kels the artist.
How y'all doing? I am Kels the artist. No weapons formed against me shall prosper as long as God is with me. I disguise my success as a setback just to see who was really rocking with me. You see, this road be long and narrow, but I never complain and still walk it. Even though at times I be feeling like a little bitty candle flickering in a room full of darkness, but my spirit's strong, and I got faith. God be giving me instructions, I just gotta do what he say. I figured out how to avoid that crucial mistake, and that's to never pray without preparing, or you'll just be saying words until you turn blue in the face, and from my understanding, that's the usual case. I crack a smile in my imagination and stay focused until it manifests. I be humble through my accomplishments because I know it's always another test, but when God ordering your steps, you gotta trust the process. So I be like, left, right, left, right. I left the wrong things alone and I got my mind right, now my mind set. And my thoughts different. So even in a room full of greasy banana peels, I still wouldn't get caught slipping. I breathe deep when I meditate. I learn fear's just a thought, so these days I don't hesitate. I be spitting from my soul, so if you real, it's gonna resonate. I'm my only competition, but still never seen second place. It'd be more like zero, no highest. See, I believe anything is possible because you don't really know until you try it. Food for thought, I've been on a mental diet. I be spitting so many hot bars, I should have gingivitis. Soldier like Leonidas, so the police trying to indict us, thinking I'm a drug lord just because me and God got an alliance. But see, it's all part of the process. It's kind of hard trying to take off when some of your Migos be offset, so sometimes you got to offset and figure out where your thoughts at. I paid enough attention to realize that your happiness shouldn't cost that, so I be cautious. I'm real picky on who I choose to give my energy to. You see, I had to understand that the person in the mirror could be an enemy too, and what greater threat is that bigger than you? You see, it's all part of the process. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Darla Mickey here. Everyone has a story. I am your guest host today, and for my co-hosts,
I'm Hood Rage from Team Eddie's Entertainment.
and we have our guest here. His name is Kels the Artist.
Kels.
How are you, Kels?
I'm epic. How you guys doing today?
Epic.
Yes,
epic,
I am.
epic.
Very epic.
Yeah, that's a good word to use.
It is.
So you are a spoken word artist,
Yes, I am.
rapper, hip hop artist,
Yes.
all the above.
Uh-huh.
You came on the scene like, boop, and shot straight to the roof. How was that done? Because the last time I had an encounter with you, you was just putting out a book, and I knew
Yeah.
nothing about it. Now you are nominated for so many awards, national awards.
My impact came from personal development. Like before I even spit a poem on the poetry scene, I was already deep into personal development. So I already had a plan before I became a spoken word artist. I had no clue how the Chicago spoken word scene was until I actually went to one of the events. And if it wasn't for this particular occasion, when I had searched the internet for open mics in Chicago, I probably wouldn't even be an artist in Chicago to this day.
So you didn't dip into hip hop first. You dipped into spoken word.
No, I was a hip hop artist first. That's why I was saying like I probably wouldn't even be a poet had I didn't look for an open mic scene to go to. I would have still been rapping though, but it probably wouldn't have been on the scale that it is now.
Oh, nice.
So, the times that I've seen you out, like we frequent some of the same spots. We around each other a lot, and I noticed that you always have a positive spin on everything.
Yes, sir.
Like you know,
Yeah.
we could be sitting around talking about like, man, little homie got shot on the block the other day. He be like, yeah, but God gonna take care of everything. You know what I mean? Like you have this personal zen about yourself that keeps a positive. How did you get to that point? Like, how does a young man get to that point in his life with?
It was reading a lot of books. Literally, it took my mind off of what I already knew, and it took me into a whole different avenue. It's like, you know, everything that they said that everything you need to know is already written in the book. And before then, I wasn't reading books. So it was a period in my life where I literally stayed in the house for 4 months straight, just reading self-help and personal development books. And that's where my mindset came from. I changed my paradigm. A paradigm is a multitude of habits. It's like a thinking pattern. So I changed my thinking pattern. So everything that happens to me, I process it in a positive manner.
See, that says something, a young black man using the word paradigm. It's not happening regularly. So, as a host, a hip-hop artist, a spoken word artist, like, do you have a preference? Like, when what's your go-to? What do you default to? Is it I say, I've dabbled in it all myself. Like, and I'm at the stage where I just kind of prefer to be a host. I enjoy hosting. So like, is there a preference to you? Is it you prefer poetry? Do you prefer spoken word?
I prefer poetry because I can say a lot more doing poetry versus me rapping on a 2-minute instrumental. Even if I looped it and made it 7 minutes, it'd probably become boring. But if I'm standing right there in front of you, I can capture your attention. I know how to capture people's attention. So as long as I got your attention, I know I can say something impactful so that you can take something back with it. So I would say my go-to is poetry.
So where are you from?
I'm from the south side of Chicago.
So living on the south side of Chicago, it's not too many positive things going on.
It's not.
Positive things, but you keep a smile. You keep all these positive messages flowing and going and going. And
That's why.
I've listened. I'm just saying, haven't you had lost family members,
Yes,
friends,
yes,
been shot at, been?
yes,
I know that these have been
yes,
robbed. All of
yes.
these things.
All
How
of
can you
those
still
things.
smile though?
Because like I've done those things. So for me to not accept those things, I would be a hypocrite. I've robbed people. I've shot at people. I've did all of those things before. So now that I changed my mindset, I'm more in a more grateful space now that I can see those things going on and be grateful that I'm not involved with it anymore.
Okay, Kels, I want to get a little bit deeper into your life, but we're gonna go to a commercial break right now, guys. We'll be right back. You don't cry when you get.
I be dancing like Diddy. Running through the city, I be dancing like Diddy. Left foot, let's stomp. Right foot, let's stomp. You done had what you need. Trying to give you what you want. And that's the best in line. I know that she can never testify. Hanging up when that rent due. But I may let the electric slide. Stepping in the name of love. Pulling up like I need exercise. And I probably do. So I'm pulling up, and you know my groove. I'm trying to dance with you. You ask me questions, boo. I dance around that too. So yeah. I did it. And they all with it. Running through the city.
We're back where everyone has a story. I'm Darla Nikki with my co-host, Hood Ray, and we're back to talk to Kels the artist.
Kels the artist. So I got to say, you intrigued me with your storytelling so far. But I'm interested to know, like, you speak of such positivity, right? Mm-hmm. But then you said you had to change your paradigm. What happened prior? Like, what was the point that made you say, okay, this isn't working, I got to go a different direction?
So it was me being in the midst of all of the violence, all of the negativity, all of the shootings, the robbings, people going to jail. And I'm looking at it like I'm no different from them. I'm not immune from it either. So if they're going through it, I can go through it too. So that's what made me realize, like, okay, it's more than just about me. It's more than just about trying to look cool for somebody else, because at first that's all I was doing. I was a big follower. I was a chameleon. Whatever color you was that day, I was trying to be that color too, just so I can have something to relate to. I wanted to fit in. But it was like when I had my daughter when I turned 20. And when I had my daughter, I started thinking. And that was the best thing that I could start doing, was started thinking. Because then I realized, like, it don't matter what you do. I still have to get done what I have to get done, and you're not gonna do it for me. And when I realized that they wasn't trying to do it for me, I was like 100% okay. Personal. Make sure that you are the best you that you can be. And I didn't have a father, so when I had my daughter, I was like, I gotta definitely be the best father ever possible.
Shout out to the fathers always.
Most definitely.
Grieving. I notice you don't cry. There's nothing sad. I mean, I've really been trying to, like, pull something out of you that would, because I know that you've lost family. I know that you've lost friends. But how do you grieve if you don't cry? If you don't say, I mean, how is that?
Everything happens for a reason. And on the human level, we might not see that reason right then and there. We might not see it, but everything literally happens for a reason. Whether your family member died from a gunshot wound or something, it was a reason behind all of that. So once you get to the bigger, you can skip past all of the minuscule things that help you get to those emotions, because at the end of the day, you still gotta live.
He sounds like an old wise man from China or something. Like he got all this wisdom just seeping out of him, and he's just sitting there cool like, yes.
He gonna cry when he get in the car.
Probably from my left eye.
So, personal goals. I see that's something that's big to you. what's next? Like, what can we look forward to from
What's
Kills
next
the artist?
for me is I will be hosting more. So my whole thing is bringing people together. I want to bring new talent to the forefront. I want to get other people recognized. That's why I started doing Epic Night Open Mic. I wanted to have another platform for people to go to and to showcase their talents, because I'm good with my talents. You know, it's not even really about me. I have enough avenues for me to express myself. So my whole thing is now is getting other people with the light shined on them. So that's why I'm more into hosting and stuff. So that's a big personal goal for me, is bringing more people to the limelight.
So let me ask you, is that all you do? Host? You tell us about what you actually do.
Okay, I am a motivational speaker. I have a call that I do, it's called Real Talk Tuesdays, and previously they was every Tuesday, but fortunately I've been blessed with so many opportunities to perform that I minimize them to at least once a month.
Okay.
And I haven't done one literally in like 2 months because of all of the blessings that I've been receiving lately. So usually it's once a month, every Tuesday, and it's personal topics that we all go through on a daily basis. It can be a topic like love, commitment, matrimony, or thoughts just in general. And I don't use my own topics. I ask people for a topic so it can help me grow myself. And that's why I do a lot of personal development, because if I allow you to choose a topic that I know nothing about, I have to research it, I have to grow, I have to learn something. And that's why I extend that to the audience to give me a topic to do. I'm also a published author. I have a book on Amazon. It's called Thoughts of a Thinker. That book is amazing because it's just like my call. It's not just my personal thoughts. It's blank pages in the book for my readers to enter their thoughts if they don't agree with mine. I also have poetry in that book. I have a couple of music CDs out. My first CD is called Abnormal. And around that time, I was like 24, 25 when I first released Abnormal.
A baby.
And I felt like it was nobody doing what I was doing. All positive, no curse words, no profanity, no N-words, none of that. And I'm young and I'm black. And it's at the time where it's a lot of drill music, especially coming from Chicago. You feel like you got to be the toughest rapper out. And I was like, I'm not going to do none of that. I'm going to be myself. And that's why I call it Abnormal. And then my second CD is called Cloud Talk because it's a progression from me being abnormal. Now I know that I'm different, and now I'm being prideful that I'm different, and now I'm letting other people know it's okay for you to be different too.
Okay, yes. So we're going to come back, and we're going to take the commercial break and we'll talk to you.
International Maverick.
For me, it's about what it represents. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more, nothing less. That's where I'm from. You know what I mean? It's only right.
Yo, you don't know what it feel like. Hold up, I'm talking real life. Late nights in the stew, praying this shit gon' take flight. Made a sacrifice, these dreams bigger than you believe. Looking at my seeds, they getting older, they got needs. But look at me, still hoping this music shit bubble. Knowing I can cop me some work and get back on the hustle. But that's trouble, sometimes I think it's worth the risk. My girl hate when I say it, but yet and still I reminisce. But that's the twist, when you tryna make an honest living. Devil on my shoulder, I can hear him whisper propositions. Consequences for my actions when I give a hell. Had to be when I was in the counties trying to make bail. Sitting in that cell like damn how I get healed when I was just a friend in a whole nother atmosphere. But that's life, ain't it? Take the bitter with the sweet. I'm still inmate V, you niggas know me. I'm different, I live it. You ain't never did it. My brown eyes seen a lot underneath this Cubs fitted. Ambitious and driven, Joe, I'm trying to get it. Dreaming of $1 million underneath this fucking Cubs fitted. I'm different, I live it. You ain't never did it. My brown eyes seen a lot underneath this Cubs fitted. Ambitious and driven, Joe, I'm trying to get it. Dreaming of $1 million underneath this fucking Cubs fitted. It's a nigga better than Jordan that didn't catch his break, and he don't got the fortune and fame, but is he still great? Was that his fate, or did he drop the ball when he had a chance? Then again, God laughs when a man plans. Dreaming from the stands in the nosebleed section. That's my worst fear, so I study life lessons. Count my blessings, even though I'm far from my goals. In the eyes of my kids, gotta be a hero. No ego, I know I'm humble as they come, but at the same time, my nigga, I am second to none. Numero uno, used to be a duo. Cut that nigga off cause he was playing in his Pause, a nigga wanna be broke, you gotta leave him be. They ain't none of my business, I'm sipping on this green tea. Still MAV, they know how I'm rocking, ain't shit changed. I'm trying to keep some dollars in my pocket. I'm different, I live it, you ain't never did it. My brown eyes seen a lot underneath this Cubs fitted. Ambitious and driven, Joe, I'm trying to get it. Dreaming of $1 million underneath this fucking Cubs fitted. I'm different, I live it, you ain't never did it. My brown eyes seen a lot underneath this Cubs fitted. Ambitious and driven, Joe, I'm trying to get it. Dreaming of $1 million underneath this fucking Cubs fitted. I used to want a gold chain and a pair of Jordan 4s. These days I want more, yeah, that's what I'm coming for. If you ain't trying to score, then what's the sense of playing the game? If you ain't got the drive, my nigga, then stay in your lane. The pictures I paint, know I'm making Jean-Michel proud. The artful dodge, you know you see my Basquiat crown. I done been down, came up, lost it all again. Hustle don't mean shit if you ain't got the heart to win. I'ma be up again, my spirit say I can't lose. Don't make mistakes twice, know they watching how I move. Praying on my downfall, flip-flop, round off. Always land on my feet, it's like I got cat paws off. Jack Frost, I'm the North Pole guy. A lot of niggas be spitting, but they ain't fucking with moi. And now I'm merchant on my granny grave. I ain't never been afraid. Flow like water, can't brush me off. You gon' catch the wave.
Things happen today, and they were all great, and they were all thrilling, and they were all dramatic. Too bad we couldn't have had a victory that meant a pennant, but that will come. Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
Cubs fitted.
One more time. We are back. Everyone has a story. And our guest, Kales the artist. How you doing, Kales?
Epic.
Epic.
You knew it was coming, didn't you?
So that is a term that you hear regularly in conversation, especially amongst artists. How you doing? I'm epic. Man, that show was epic. Epic. But when I first met you, you already had epic tattooed on your neck. I was like, this is something he really believes in. So define epic to me. What does it really mean coming from you?
Okay, EPIC is an acronym for Effectively Producing Immaculate Creativity.
One more time. Say that again.
Effectively producing immaculate creativity.
Wow.
Effectively. Yes.
So tell us about Epic Movement.
So Epic Movement, right? Epic Movement started a long time ago. It originally started when I was back in New York. And I was hanging with my friend, his name is Paz Simpson. Y'all look him up, he's a good dude. So everywhere we went, I was in New York for about 8 days, and everywhere we went, this man had a quarter in his pocket. He was eating, he was getting on the bus, he was getting in places, he was everything I was spending all of my money. The man had a quarter from the time I got out there to the time I left. And he told me, like, you don't really need money, you need resources. And that's what, it is just something in my brain that clicked. Like, so you mean to tell me, as long as I know the boss, I don't have to pay for the meal? He was like, pretty much. So ever since that day, it was supposed to be Epic Movement University, and the university was supposed to be YOU, like university, because it's a learning process that we got to go through. And I wanted to be more immaculate, more productive, more effective. And that was the whole concept about it, is basically teaching people personal development from my point of view, from an urban standpoint. Because, you know, as a young man reading the Bible, there's big words in there. You don't really comprehend it. So my job is to simplify it for everybody to understand it in your own way. Meet people where they at. And that's where Epic Movement started from. It's just like, okay, understanding that you don't need a bunch of money, but you do need resources. And as long as you can obtain those resources, you can accomplish your goals.
You have taught us something here today.
From the wise man.
All from a young wise man. Well, we appreciate your time and for telling your story. We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to Everyone Has a Story. Thank you.